Okay, go ahead. Give me a little something. Give me a. Yeah. I like it. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are once again. Sound check with Ridenour and Robinette. I want to say hello to my friend Keith Ridenour.
Hey, buddy.
Our producer Jason Sedowi is here as always, taking care of everything pretty much here. Lights, camera, action, and doing all of our editing. I want to thank Jason for doing a great job.
He mows the lawn, he trims the bushes, and he washes the cars. He's
yes,
a hell
he does.
Of a hell of a.
And I want to thank, once again, our last episode, Billy Levacy did a great job. I want to thank Billy for being part of our show. We've got a great response. Thanks once again, Billy. We want to say another shout out to all of our viewers who have been watching this now for the last 4 or 5 months or whatever it may be, that today will be the end of our season 1. This is our finale episode. And we could not be any happier. We didn't think this was going to go more than
a week
couple.
Or two.
Well, listen, just go with the show. So we didn't think it was going to be more than a couple shows, and here we are at the end of our first season, 12 episodes.
Unbelievable.
And the response has been great, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. We're just going to go into another season. We're going to take a couple weeks off, and we're going to jump into season number 2. If you have any suggestions, any questions, any ideas on who you'd like to have on our show, be part of our show, sit down here with us in our studio, talk about any upcoming shows or possibly talk about your business. We'd be happy to have you. Also, if you're interested in advertising right here on Soundcheck, please reach out to us. Just leave a comment below and make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
So here we are once again. Let's have a round of applause for Soundcheck with Ridenour and Robinette.
Baby. Play it one more time.
You know, this kind of reminds me of, I just thought, Wayne's World. I don't know, I just had a Wayne's World moment, like.
Everybody clap together.
Like, no, it's like, Wayne's World, you know. And that's all it was Mike Myers, and what's his name?
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey. I mean, there they were, you know. And they had the guy in the corner, kind of producing. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. And we may go live next season.
Keith,
right?
Are you going to play through the whole entire first segment, or you want to?
Well, you told me to play.
I know, but keep going. But come to that conclusion. What do they call that? Little. What do you call that? The end? Well, ending.
Right there.
I like it. Welcome, Keith. Well,
Jimi.
By the way, I just thought of this. You know, we were all trying to get Billy Levacy, Billy Levacy, Billy Livesay.
Yep.
A lot of people have been asking.
A lot of people
have been asking. Oh my God, my phones have been blowing up. Is it Ridenour or is it Ridenour? Let's get it out of the way.
Drum roll. It's Ridenour.
It's Ridenour. Yeah.
But you know how many times I've gotten, are you any relationship to Lee Ridenour?
Lee Ridenour.
The guitar player.
Is that spelled with a T though?
T. No, mine's with a D.
Or
we'll get Ridenour or Ridenour. Ridenour.
Okay, yeah, that's not good.
No.
Yeah, I've had Robinette, and but anyway, I'm glad that you're here. I'm
good
glad
to be
once
here,
again that we just find a way to come together right here at the studio in my living room in West Palm Beach, Florida, in Palm Beach County. And here we are again. So let's talk a little bit about, by the way, I'm going to keep my phone on because
the kids may be showing up.
Our guest, Unravel Band from Broward County, the Teenage Sensations, have Casey and Dylan are going to come here with their dad.
Cool.
Keep my phone on in case it rings so I can let them in the gate. So let's talk about what's going on right now. Before we start, I want to say a shout out to your beautiful daughter.
Kirsten's birthday today, 29. Amazing. You know how many people, I put a little thing on Facebook, said happy birthday to our daughter, and how many people go, I remember her when she was running around the studio with the dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because she was at the original Ridenours from the day she was born. We took her every day to the studio.
Well then I would have met her too.
Yeah, sure.
Because
so
my
wife Paula, Kirsten,
and
the dog.
You know what? I just had a vision of her, like when I would go and pay the bill.
Yeah, she'd be holding
her in her arm.
It was crazy. I had people text me going, I remember your wife used to push the buggy with Kirsten in it to clean the rooms and go door to door, and your dog would lay on the ground next to the buggy with the baby while your wife cleaned the rooms.
What was the dog's name?
Brittany.
The dog's not around anymore.
No.
Brittany.
Yep.
So
yes, it's
happy
Kirsten's birthday. Yep. And you had a big to-do this past weekend too, right?
I had a big to-do. Man,
Were you bawling?
Tell you, man. I mean, bawling, no.
Were you crying at least?
I was getting a little. I definitely got choked up. I didn't do I didn't do that one. I cry out loud, But I did have some tears. I did a little bit of,
it's a big deal, man.
It's a big deal because that little angel. One thing about my kid, and I think it's probably with a lot of kids that grew up in the internet world, she never asked for help. Like even when she was in Daddy, I can't figure out this problem. Mommy, come help me. Daddy, I can't get, oh my God. Now she would do it all on her own. She gets stressed out. She had tears. I mean, all the testing. But the big thing is that she did graduate in the top of her class.
Very good.
She shared some of that with us, but not all the details. But she got through it. She got a degree, and I'm going to mess this up, in history, philosophy, and she got a minor in Spanish, and she's going to be moving to Europe.
Really?
To teach. Yeah,
really?
To teach English.
Well, it's great that she got the minor in Spanish.
Yeah, she always took Spanish when she was a kid.
I wish when I was in high school, I got 1 year of Spanish, and back then, and I do mean back then, I just didn't think it was important.
Yeah.
Now, to our kids and grandkids, I tell them all the time, take Spanish. Take Spanish.
Yeah, so she's going to do that. I want to say shout out to both my angels, because I got 2 angels graduating. So I want to say, I'm going to get choked up right here on the camera. So Christina, congratulations. And my Angelina, who is graduating from high school right down the street.
Oh,
yeah, from work.
Yep.
Well,
that's where Kirsten graduated.
Wasn't going to share that with our crowd, but okay. And she's going to be graduating. She's a senior, and she's at the top of her class as well. So very fortunate that both my girls are doing great. Both my boys up north are doing great as well. So thank you very much for asking, and congratulations to my daughter, Florida State. Oh, when I tell you, there was about 15,000 people in that arena. Oh my God, it was insanity. But it was good, and congratulations. So
cool.
What else we got going on?
We got some rock kids coming on today, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so you have to go see them live. I know you saw videos.
Yeah.
And I know you're a very busy man, so you don't get out too much. But if we can get you to come out and see them, it would be pretty awesome.
Definitely.
I did see them 2 or 3 times. Some of them were in passing, because when I'm doing my gigs and I'm on one side, my attention span is limited. And also I'm always on my way home. But man, I saw them at the Bacon something or another Doc Reno Festival maybe 2 years ago, and they were on their way, and they're a really good band. They're called Unravel. We're going to have Casey and Dylan here, 2 members of that band. They're going to tell us about so far their experiences in this rock and roll world as a teenager. I think one just turned 18. I'm going to find out all that information as we go.
I got some good questions for them.
Yeah, I got some good questions for them too. So it's going to be a whole different perspective, because some of the folks we've had here are some seasoned veterans, producers, restaurant owners. So it's going to be a little different perspective, and we're going to get a vision on where they're headed and what their plans are. And that's the Unravel Band. Jason Sedowi, want to say hi to Jason? Is everything good?
Everything's good.
And is everything good on the work part? Everything on the workforce? Everything's good?
Yep.
Is there any show that jumps out at you that you had at the Parker in the last, let's say, 7 to 10 days that stands out?
Well, I'm not mic'd up, so I'm gonna have to.
That's okay. You just tell me. I'll share it with everybody.
Honestly, it's been a bunch of kind of low tier stuff. There hasn't been anything.
Okay, so when you say low tier, you're talking about you did some kind of Broadway thing, you did a musical, you did a high school thing. I mean, what would be a low tier? What would
he's not going to tell you who the low tier was.
Oh, okay. Okay, so anyway, Jason's here. Keith is here. Jim Robinette is here. We're here at Soundcheck. We want you to stick around. The Unravel kids are coming up. Give me a little something. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unravel Band coming up.
Band.
Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
And Casey.
Unravel Band.
Coming on Soundcheck.
Unravel. Unravel.
Unravel.
Unravel.
I like it. One more time.
Unravel Band. Unravel.
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 Unravel Band.
Unravel Band. coming up next.
Stick around. I'll be right back. I like that.
Here we go. Episode 12.
Are you putting it in or me? I'm putting
Oh,
it
you
in.
do it. You know, you like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
I don't like to talk over you.
Welcome, everybody. Here we are. Let's have a round of applause, everybody. We're at sound check. Sound check with Ridenour and Robinette. Keith. Well, what was it, Ridenour or Ridenour?
Yeah.
Which
I don't
one?
know, Robbie.
Ridenour, Jim Robinette, Jason Sedowy, our producer, and here we are with the Unravel band.
Yeah,
Two boys,
right.
Casey and Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first, I just want to say that we've been talking about this band now a little bit here and there over the last couple of years, I guess. So I saw you guys at the Bacon and something or another with the Doc Reno indoors. Absolute insanity. Couldn't move in there. It was smashing there. If I remember correctly, it was a hot effing day, and the kids were in there just balls to the wall. That's the first time
All about the bacon.
that I got introduced to them. I think Tommy Vincent and Paul and that crew from the School of Rock was telling us all about them. So we went in there, we heard them. They were screaming. It was killer, and the band was great. And we've been talking the last few weeks about getting your band in here. So we approached Dad, and finally here you are. We wanted to have the whole band in here, but you know what? Small studio, and it would have been a little too complex with audio, so we decided to have the two boys here. And thanks for being here.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's start from the top.
Okay.
So introduce yourself. You're Dylan. You're
Yes.
Casey, and you're Dylan. And I'm going to remember Dylan because when I think of Dylan, I think guitar, I think of Dylan Schiavone. I'm going to introduce you to Dylan Schiavone, and that's Casey.
And
Casey,
I'll remember Dylan
How
because
old
he
are you,
looks like
Casey?
our grandson.
I'm 17.
Casey is 17.
17. Yes.
17, Ridenour. How old are you, Dylan?
15.
15. 17 and 15.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, buddy.
How do you
Long time ago.
like that? The band is really killing right now. Tell us a little bit. Let's start with Casey on how the ball started rolling with, I'm guessing, let's start from the beginning when you got introduced to drums. How'd that start?
Well, I was introduced to drums by a corporation called the School of Rock. It's like a national organization. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but I originally tried to play guitar and my fingers started hurting, so I kind of dropped it. And then I saw one of my friends play drums, and I'm like, wait, that looks easy. So I picked it up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing this, and if it works out, it works out.
And
how old were you?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I
how
was
old-
like 11.
Okay.
This was like 6 years ago. Yeah.
So you're seeing, 6 years ago, he was 11. I love that. Woo, we've had some old dogs in here, man. This is a little different, isn't it? Okay, so at 11, you had an interest drum because your friend of yours was playing drums.
Mhm.
And you saw it was loud.
It was loud.
It just jumped out at you. And then how do you start? Like, do you come to Dad and say, Dad, I want to start playing. How did that come to fruition? If you
So
can
I was
remember?
kind of like, hey, Dad, could you give me this $5,000 drum kit? No, but I started on a drum pad and with pillows, of course, just to see if I liked it.
All right.
And so, like, as like my interest for drums grew and became more professional in that sense, I eventually, me and my dad invested in an amateur drum set. And I used that for a good amount of time, like 4 years.
So you put it in your bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
And the parents had no problem you smashing on it? Or?
No, and the neighbors are really nice about it too.
Oh, that's good.
So you had an acoustic kit. But nowadays, a
Yeah.
lot of kids would get an electronic kit, so it's not as loud. So you put an acoustic kit
And
at 11, 12 years old, whatever,
Yep.
put it in the bedroom.
yep,
See, this is me, man.
Started banging.
This is why I'm getting
was-
flashbacks.
Because he plays
in your
drums too.
bedroom?
Yeah.
In Dad's bedroom?
yeah, Dad's bedroom. I don't know. The acoustic from downstairs probably is just headache.
Right,
Nah,
right.
You know what?
Yeah.
man?
So you needed some carpet.
Yeah, carpet. We didn't really sound insulate the room, so I'm surprised the cops haven't pulled up at our house.
Wow, can you imagine? So you set up the drum kit in there. So tell us how it started. Did you take private lessons? Did you take lessons from anyone?
Yeah, I took lessons from a guy named Walter. I think he was a Latin fellow, and he was really jazz orientated, and I learned how to read from Walter, like how to read sheet music and stuff like that, like the basics.
Right.
Were you doing any of this in school at all, or was this all at home? Like were you in the not marching band, like the symphonic band, a concert band, anything like that at school?
No,
or no?
I just like I had nothing to do at home, so I just decided to pick up an instrument because I always thought playing music was pretty neat. Like if I ever saw a band like at a bar, I'd be like, holy crap, those guys are cool.
Yeah,
Right.
see?
Right.
Yeah.
So, man, this is amazing hearing it coming out of their mouth like that, because that's the way I felt.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
I remember. It's reminding me how old my brother and I were.
yeah.
Yeah, he was. I think he was 10 and I was 13, and we got paid for the first time.
Wow.
We played for a JC convention. I think we made $60, and there was 4 of us, so we each made $15. That's when we first got
JC.
paid. JC convention.
They wouldn't even know JC is.
No, it's like
a lodge, right? Or
Yeah,
something
like the
that.
Kiwanis, you guys wouldn't even know. I don't even know if they're around anymore. But yeah, that's how young we were.
Wow.
Dang.
Yep.
So playing on your kit in the bedroom, you're taking lessons, things are going good, you're digging it.
Yeah.
Did you get the old school headphones, like play with music? Did you put the earbuds in? I mean, did you play along with songs, start getting the groove?
Yeah, no, I never really like looked at drum lessons on YouTube. I kind of just like went with what I knew, and then I tried to emulate it as best I can from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would never really like at that point in time I wouldn't get into the specifics. I just try to get the form down of the song.
So when you play now, do you read it all now?
I don't even read it. I just listen to it. I pick it up. Like songs like a Green Day song. You could listen to it and you could pick it up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because most rock stuff is all in 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 90% of rock songs are all in 4. So you're right from the bottom to the top. It's right here in a lot of pocket stuff. I mean, the one thing I could always say is that the drummers that always influenced me over the years, because I started out on drums, were always the pocket guys, the guys that made things move. Of course, I love the Neil Pearts and all that stuff. I'm a huge Rush fan when I was a kid, but I always loved just the right here pocket makes people move. And
Picaro, Simon Phillips.
the list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you do. So who are some of your influences? Like at this point, I guess you're only 17. So what are some of your influences? Someone you like to watch play or listen to play?
Now or when I was 11?
Now, let's talk about now, baby.
Well, I'm getting into more like progressive stuff. So I the pocket guys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like Nate Smith, I don't know, but more like more known people that I'm interested in. Some really impactful drummers that I think. The drummer for Led Zeppelin, John Bonham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the drummer for The Who. Ringo Starr. Many people disregard his playing.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, because Ringo is a great drummer.
He's an amazing.
He does a certain thing, and he does it
and
great.
he's really good at it. He's what I've seen from what he plays live, he's very like bouncy and
Yeah, but he plays bossa nova, he plays rock, he plays swing, he plays jazz. A lot of drummers like Bonham, Bonham can play anything, but a lot of guys are rock guys. You're a rock guy.
yeah.
Right.
Ringo Starr played many, many styles, and he always knew when not to play. Very airy drummer. He just made everything go smooth, almost to the point where you didn't even know he was there. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you listen to Ringo Starr. So now, what is your routine now? Like, let's say, you guys are really cooking right now. Do you ever just like work out? Do you ever just go in there and just drum away? Do you go in there? Do you listen? What is your formula to keep your chops rolling?
Well, different rudiments. I can see different rudiments. You can implement that into whatever fill you're making. Like
Right.
there's the certain like single stroke fills you can use in like everything.
Right.
But if you want to get more complex and get faster, you go into the variations of a paradiddle, like a paradiddle diddle or the 7-stroke.
So you're using rudiments instead of just being a straight ahead drummer.
Yeah.
You're starting to get into a lot of different rudiments.
So
and
you have different
applying
fills
them.
you can use.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm gonna use it in every song I play.
Right, but it's good to have
It's
it.
another weapon in your arsenal.
Yeah.
Another weapon in the arsenal. So let's get right to the good stuff right now. you have your kit. Is the kit any longer at Dad's room or no? No, we don't keep the kit in Dad's room anymore.
We still keep it in Dad's
You
room.
guys got a rehearsal space?
Not at my house.
Okay, if you guys want to rehearse, where are you going?
We're
Marquee.
going to Marquee Studios.
Ah!
I see his brother every time we go there.
Okay,
yeah.
so you go to Marquee.
That's funny.
And you do
Occasionally we'll have a
2-hour
rehearsal at my
spots,
dad's
3-hour
house,
spots in
but-
there? You go once a week?
like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay, you go once a week, once every 2 weeks?
Once a week if we can, because sometimes we're packed that weekend for gigs, like
Okay,
Fridays.
so, and you guys basically go in there, is there an agenda? When you guys go into rehearsal, do you know exactly what you're going to be doing? And if so, who is the person that is directing? Because every good project needs a leader per se. Is there one person that is kind of saying, okay, we're going to do A, B, and C, or does everybody have to sit and talk about it?
Well, there is one person who isn't in the band, and that's his dad.
Okay.
So his dad kind of like suggests songs for us to do, and we pick through those songs.
Okay,
Which
so
one
everybody
do you
has
wanna
an
do?
opinion.
Yes.
Let me interrupt for 1 second.
Oh, please
Sorry.
do.
Did you guys used to rehearse on Saturdays?
Yes. Yeah.
When I was at Marquee and still an owner, were you guys rehearsing there then? That would have been either right after COVID or right before COVID?
Yeah, we were rehearsing there. That was our
Was
other
that
band.
our old band?
That was
The
our
old band, because
yeah.
all the
I remember
parents
that.
used to sit out in the lobby, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Bad news for you. The parents are still sitting in the lobby. They're still there now.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, wait a second. I remember talking to one of the parents about songwriting. Was that you guys?
Yes, that was us.
Wow.
The light bulb just came on a little bit.
As soon as they said Marquee, I went, wait a second, School of Rock. Okay, now it's coming back to me. But it wasn't this band
It
name.
wasn't this band.
What was the
No.
name?
It was Social Illusion. Our old
That
band.
was it.
old band.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
That was good.
Were you in that band
He
too?
was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then they got rid of the weak links and they started the real rock band. So where are you? So you guys rehearse at Marquee now every week, every couple weeks. You go in there, you come up with a plan, come up with an idea. We're going to learn A, B, and C. So right now, you're pretty much since day one have been doing cover songs.
Yeah.
That's right.
And now Cypher, she has to be able to sing it, or whoever's going to sing lead on it. Got to make sure they're comfortable singing it, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes you might go to rehearsal, put the tune together, and somebody goes, you know what? Song is just sucking. It ain't working out.
Yeah, we've scrapped songs
Yeah,
before.
scrap
Yeah.
songs. And then you'll find one that clicks. Or you'll go out to play it and you'll find out that you guys really dig it and you rock it, but maybe people are not responding so well to it. And you say, well, I didn't see anybody really responding to that tune. And then you may pass on it. So now you got a song list or a set list of several songs now. You guys been together a couple of years now?
Yeah. Not even a couple years, like a year almost. A year and
So
a half.
when you're
right.
picking songs, are you doing male sung songs too, or all female sung songs?
No. Actually, the majority's male.
They're
Okay,
rockers,
that's what I
bro.
figured. Yeah,
Majority is
that's what I figured. But I figured, you know,
And it's not just the female singing it, because sometimes I had a little song I was
Yeah.
singing, and he has a little song he's singing.
okay, so you kind of go around
It's
to everybody.
around, yeah, because the main singer like needs a break every once in a
Absolutely,
while.
absolutely.
Take a break on her
Did you
voice.
guys hear that? You podcasters out there, did you hear that? My band members, that's gold right there. The singer needs a break. So, okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to Dylan.
Let's talk about guitar.
Let's talk about guitars. Dylan, just before I'm going to let you take this over, but also I want to say Dylan Chavone. Remember that name, Dad? He is a local guitar player from Miami area.
Great guitar
And
player.
his name is Dylan, and he is on the very top tier of, I've played with great guitar players over the many decades, and he is one of the best. So if you get an opportunity, look him up on Facebook and enjoy him because he's a jazzy, funky, badass rock player. He plays with all heavy cats, and he's a great player. So Dylan Chavone, and your last name is Dylan?
Simonson.
Simonson, okay. Dylan,
It's an S. His is SCH, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
So Keith, I'm looking forward to your interview
You got the
here.
same
So
initials.
Take
Yeah,
it,
same.
take it over, Keith, and don't screw it up. We got a lot of people watching.
Okay, so man, let's start at the beginning with you. You're 15 now.
Yeah.
When did you start playing guitar?
So it's kind of funny because I started out playing drums. Like
Oh,
he
that
said
is
he started to do guitar. But like since I was like 1 to 2 years old, I almost always had sticks in my hand, actually just playing drums. And we used to have a place up in the Keys, so we'd go to this like bar in the Keys, and they would always have this cool live bands over there. And you know how at some places they give you the beer in the buckets. So after everybody got the beers, they would put the bucket and they give me a fork and a knife, and I'd just be banging on it with the band. So then my parents, well, I mean, I wanted to be a football player, but my dad was like, "You're not being no football player." So he was like, "Why don't you play drums instead?" So they found about School of Rock, and they enrolled me, and I was taking some drum lessons, and I was not very good, but I was, I enjoyed it. And my dad always said, "Oh, there's a million drummers. Why don't you try and play some, where I can see you, like guitar?" And I was like, "No, I don't ever want to play guitar. I hate guitar. I don't want to play guitar. I hate it." And he was like, "Okay, Christmas is coming up. What do you want for Christmas?" When I was around 9 years old. And I said, "Oh, could I get a new kit? Because drums this." And he's like, "What about a guitar for Christmas?" And I was like, "Oh no, I would be so mad." And then Christmas Day, "Oh, look what Santa got you for Christmas. It's a guitar." And I got so mad about it.
Why would you hate guitar that much? What's going on?
I honestly, I don't know. I just didn't.
This wasn't your
I just
thing,
liked
yeah?
drums. And then, they started rolling me in lessons for guitar, and
Little by little, you
awful.
started liking it.
It was awful. I absolutely hated it at first. And my dad would always be like, "Dylan, you got to practice guitar." And I was like, "No, I hate guitar." And then, I started getting good at it. And it was like, "Oh, this isn't that bad."
You remember what the first song was you actually could play?
The first song I could play was, it was a Beatles song called, no, it wasn't. It was, what's it called? Stand By Me. Darling, darling.
Stand By
I
Me.
remember that. The 4 chords of that song: E minor, G, E minor, C, D. And I remember I would play that song on nonstop as soon as I learned it.
Okay, wait a
Just play the
second.
song.
Hand them that, please.
Oh no.
Here you go. Stand By Me.
Okay, just give me a couple chords there.
Sorry. Oh, why did I go when the night has come?
And the moon is the only light you'll see. Now don't be afraid.
Nice catch.
Now be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, won't you stand by me. Sorry, I almost whacked him in the face with it. Oh my goodness. Was that an injury on the set? That was
That's good.
awesome.
There you go.
And we
Guess
might
I still
do
got
another
it.
one of those
We'll
going-
just throw another one
Okay,
at
so
you.
go ahead, Keith. I
All right,
apologize for
no, it's
interrupting
okay.
you.
It's all good.
Go
All right, so you're playing Stand By Me. Were you on acoustic or electric at that point?
I started off with acoustic
Right.
because I think it was my very first guitar teacher. His name was Steve. He was awesome. And he said, because I think my parents wanted me to play electric because they kind of wanted me to be like a rock. And he was like, "Trust me, his fingers are going to thank him if you give him an acoustic first. I know it's going to hurt
Yep, it's true.
B word right now, but it's going to be so much easier to play electric."
Right.
And then, eventually I got an electric, and
What was your first electric?
it was a Fender Squier black. It was absolutely awful, terrible.
The
but
action
it
was
great.
about this high.
Yes, exactly. And
Did you get one of those little kits where it comes with the amp and the strap and the guitar?
no
and-
kit, just a straight guitar in a little plastic bag. But it was my first guitar, and I remember playing my first guitar solo over it. That was "Can't Buy Me Love" by the Beatles.
Okay.
Don't make me break
Good
out
one.
the guitar again.
And
Oh, I love it.
after that first solo, I was like, and Let It Be. And he was there on that show when I played that solo. And I thought I did really good, okay? But actually,
That's how long you guys know each other?
yeah. When I
You
was
go to
like
school together?
10, 11. No,
No.
we didn't. We just met each other at School of Rock, I guess.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's
School of
cool.
Rock. Okay, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
we'll get into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so you're starting to play electric, and how long was it before you actually got a better guitar, an amp, and you started really knowing about the gear a little bit?
Maybe a year after I got the electric guitar, and I was starting to kind of learn how to play solos and stuff. And it's funny enough because when I look back, I saw a video of me playing the solo a long time ago, and I thought I was great. And you can see it on my face, I'm playing it, and I'm looking at it, it's terrible. Like, what was I thinking? It's
But at
awful.
that moment, you were the bomb.
Yeah, I thought I was the coolest.
Yeah, so did everybody
That
at
was
school
good.
probably too. You're a guitar player.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
because I didn't really play a lot of sports or anything, but when they saw me play guitar, they're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't really tell many people at school about my music thing. I think I'm kind of like Hannah Montana.
Oh, Hannah Montana. You don't even remember Hannah Montana. You're even too young for that. My kids used to watch that.
My
In other words, she
sister-
was famous at nighttime or whatever, but during school she had a different persona.
Yep, yeah. So
Very
I used to
cool.
watch that with my sister.
Wait a
That's
second.
good.
Did he just say he was the Hannah Montana of Unravel Band?
Westminster.
Westminster Academy, yep. My school, by the way.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
That's good.
in School of Rock, once you're at a certain level of proficiency, they invite you to, a lot of this is through the School of Rock system.
Right.
They invite you to be a part of this band called the house band.
Okay.
And so when you're a part of a house band, you're chosen and then you have to audition for it. And if you get in, you play monthly, weekly, you play around, but you get a lot more experience than a School of Rock show that you learn songs for 3 months, play a show, learn songs, because you're playing every weekend, you're playing somewhere, playing someplace. So once I got in that, and I actually became good friends with him because that's when we were like actually being like, oh, I know who you are.
So you guys were in the same School of Rock band then?
That's right.
Right. Gotcha.
And when I made it, my dad was like, okay, like, all right, this is actually serious. I actually have to get you a good guitar. And then I got my first actual good guitar that I still play is my Fender. I forget what it's called, but it's American Elite Series, some.
Like a Strat? Or?
But it's a Stratocaster.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, yes, the green. And I was like, wow, this is cool.
They have names for the guitars that starts at a young age.
And you got an amp too?
Yeah, we got an amp and stuff, and I actually started jamming out on it. And that's when I really kind of was like, all right, I need to take this seriously. I need to stop goofing around. I actually have to have a consistent practice routine and learn songs. And my father actually helped me a lot. Well, he didn't help me, but he bothered me to practice when I'm trying to play video games.
He didn't help me.
Yeah, he didn't help me.
bothered
Right, he wasn't the one doing it. You're the one doing it.
But I'm playing video games. And he's like, Dylan, I think you have some dust on those guitar strings. You want me to get the dust off? And I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, well, I'm not asking you to. I'm telling you to. And I was like,
Right.
So, yeah. And then, I just kept playing with the School of Rock. And eventually, at some point, we were like, well, I don't remember exactly who, but we were just like, hey, the School of Rock is all about teaching kids how to make music for themselves. So why don't we just put together a band of kids that are from the School of Rock, but it's our own
outside
project
the School
outside
of
the School
Yeah.
of Rock. So that's how we got
I
our
like
first
it.
band together.
Thinking out of the box.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, we took, all the kids from our house band and we made our own independent band.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, well, first of all, I had a question about the School of Rock. How did that happen? How did you get introduced to the School of Rock? How did that come to fruition? Did your dad turn you on to
Absolutely.
that? Did you hear a rumor about it?
So I honestly don't know. My parents just enrolled me, but I assume that they probably found it online because I do see some online ads for it.
Grand opening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the Pompano grand opening.
They did a big
You're
thing.
right. Absolutely.
Ah.
It was a
I
big
forgot about
mall
that.
type thing. He had gotten his clock cleaned in football. That wasn't happening at Calvary and all that stuff. So we decided to try to find he's got to be social, and that's what it was.
What position you play?
I play freaking lineman.
You know lineman.
You got lit up.
Bro, I was like 4'0", bro, and I was getting lit up by seniors.
Oh.
What they do?
Didn't take too many hits to make
As
you
a
guys
lineman-
Realize the drums are
As
not
a
so bad.
lineman from the 50-yard line, I got sent to the 10-yard, bro.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude, it's so funny, man, because listening to them, doesn't it kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
getting
Well,
old,
back when
man.
we did it, there wasn't a school rock or anything like that. My dad ran the dances in Deerfield Beach. So my brother and I were around all these bands all the time. Then when we started playing, my dad managed a band. They used to rehearse in our living room. So my brother and I would literally sit under this big table and listen while they rehearsed and wait for like a string to break or a drumstick to break, and we kind of get it. And you know, we had, like I said, I had a plastic guitar. He was beating on garbage cans with carom sticks. So it's kind of funny when we listen to you guys. I'm remembering like
Me
I
too,
remember at
man.
13.
Because everybody that we interview and we're affiliated with it and have relationships with are our age or maybe a little bit younger, whatever it may be.
Everybody's younger than me.
Well, no. So, you know, when you hear the kids' experience, essentially they're all kind of the same, but they're a little bit different. You know, like sports. Okay, sports, I was getting beat up. Boy, the music sure seemed a lot easier. You know, the drum set in the dad's room. You know, picking up the guitar and saying, you know what, I like drums. I don't want guitar. I mean, I remember that. I played drums when I was a kid, and I said, you know what? Guitar's kind of cool, but I like beating the shit out of stuff, you know? So, you know, I like just pounding stuff. So it's funny hearing that. So the School of Rock, you got involved in it. Both of you guys are kicking. Did both of you meet at School of Rock? Both of you did?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that is it.
7 years ago.
Unbelievable.
7 years ago?
6.5, yeah.
Wow.
About
So at 8 or 9, you were at
9,
School of
that's
Rock
right.
already?
Mm-hmm.
How young do they start them there?
You
Oh,
can
early as,
technically
like-
start as young as like 2 years old, but most people it's around
5,
7 or
6.
8.
From
5,
2
6,
to
yeah.
like 108 was like
That was their slogan, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's around most people because there's a small little children's program.
Huh.
Wings of Rock.
That's what I was in
something.
for the first year, and you know, there was a lot of kids like they were around actually 8, 9 years old, 10, some of them, but yeah, most kids kind of quit. You know, there's not a lot of people that kind of stay
Right.
as long as we have.
They like do it for like a half a month and then they're just like, okay. That's
Yeah.
Both of you are still in it?
Yes,
And do you take private lessons?
that's right.
And do you take it from the same person, or do you like to mix it up and get flavors from different players?
Well, it depends because sometimes, like for a while, I had you know, a guitar because I don't have to have guitar lessons just from the School of Rock, right? I can have
Wherever you
lessons
choose.
outside,
Right.
So I was doing that a lot, and recently one of my guitar teachers that I was taking lessons from for a long time left, so I'm kind of looking for more teachers and stuff. But I do have a guitar teacher right now. He's in Smoking Aces. His name is Jose. He's cool. I'm taking lessons from him.
I love Jose. He's great.
Yeah.
Yep,
So when you take lessons, a quick question. So you're taking lessons at School of Rock,
that's right.
and the band rehearses once a week, but they don't rehearse at School of Rock. They rehearse at
No,
Marquee.
yeah.
But doesn't School of Rock have a room where you got, or is that just when you're getting ready to perform? Or I thought they had a room there where you practice for the show or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's like a performance room. There's like segregated rooms that
Okay.
line up with different instruments that you rehearse for or practice with, like having private lessons. It's
So
like
if you guys are doing lessons during the week, let's just talk about the guitar. You're doing your guitar lesson. Are you doing okay, I'm going to show you this kind of scales, or is they giving you lessons on the songs you're working on?
So the School of Rock, I call it the School of Rock method, which is a licensed quote. So I hope they don't sue me. But what they do if, like for most kids, I said, you know, it's more like a daycare to put kids when their parents can't handle them. So
Unbelievable.
that's why a lot
Been
of the
there,
kids
done
are there. But they usually teach most of the kids. They're teaching them how to play the songs
Right.
for their performance show, which they then rehearse for 3 months, a small band, and then they play live at some place.
Gotcha.
That's their whole kind of business they got in the School of Rock. But I mean, I don't really need to learn how to play, you know.
So when
We
you
Will
take
Rock
a
You.
lesson, you're doing, okay,
I'm
what
learning
kind of
actual
the
stuff.
Dorian mode,
Yeah, that's
Mixolydian
right.
mode, or how do I solo more over blues changes?
Yeah, Jose
Okay.
is really helping me with theory and stuff. I don't really learn songs with School of Rock anymore. I mean, I kind of just hear it and play it. So
Well, the one thing that's different now that there never was when Jimmy and I were young is if you're trying to figure out a song, you just go on YouTube.
oh yeah, I used every single resource available. Tabs, YouTube.
I mean,
It's crazy, isn't it?
This.
when
Any
you
song.
back in the day, if we were trying to figure out, I don't know, it could have been a Doobie Brothers song. You know, you had to really listen, and you had an 8-track player. So
Well, my guitar player used to tell me that he would slow it down. What do they call that?
on
When
your
you-
on your
From
4-track.
like 78.
Yep.
Or no, I'm talking about on the
On the
record
record
too.
player?
You know, because he was a big Michael Schenker
Oh,
fan. I
right.
said,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
how in 1970 or whatever, 18, whatever it was,
You
how
slowed
the
the
hell did you learn
record
parts?
down to 33.
They don't even know
Yeah.
what that is, man. It's like it's just forever ago. But he said he used to slow it down to hear the notes. It's crazy.
But when you
now
and I
YouTube-
were this age, I wasn't doing that. I mean, you know, my dad would go to Dean's Music
Dude.
in Deerfield and buy the sheet music. and we couldn't read it. We just knew the chords, you know?
I just thought of something funny. When I play my kit, first of all, you had a vinyl if you had a turntable,
Right.
okay? And you're playing and it's skipping, you know, because you got a big kick drum.
Right.
And you got those big ugly ass headphones on with the long black cable.
Yeah.
You know, and you're playing and it's like nobody, you don't even inside your head, you sound so good. Almost like a singer in a shower. Says, God, I sing pretty good, don't I?
Yeah.
Of course, nobody's listening. You think you sound good. It's like you have your heads on, you're in the zone, you know, you're playing rock and roll all night, party every day, you're smashing shit, you're thinking you're on top of the world.
But that's
And,
the difference today. You guys are really fortunate that with technology and the internet, let's just, I don't know, pick a band that you really like. You know, what's one of your favorite bands that you guys play?
You want to take this one?
I got it.
Yeah.
That we play. I enjoy certain songs from like Kiss, like the Kiss songs.
Well, let's just use Kiss. You
Led
could go
Zeppelin.
online,
Yeah.
and whether it was for guitar or it was for drums, you could go online and figure out exactly what they did. You know, if it was Peter Criss, you could go online and figure out exactly what he did on a double kick thing. Or if you wanted to go figure out what Ace Frehley did or Paul Stanley, it's on YouTube.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We couldn't do that. We had to either learn it by ear, or I played with a guitar player in the early 80s. And before we had our first rehearsal place, we used to rehearse at Musicians Exchange, and there were doors out. It was in a parking lot. So you could walk up into anybody's rehearsal room and just listen.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
in a parking lot, okay? And the doors faced the parking lot. But my point is, he used to learn when Van Halen first came out, he would learn this stuff note for note. And guys would stand outside our door and go, how do you learn that? And his name was Kerry. And he'd just go, I just listened to it. And finally one day I went, dude, how do you learn that note for note? He would take off the record, record it onto his 4-track,
Oh wow.
and slow the
it
4-track
down.
down to where it was just like da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And then he could just learn the solo note for note.
That's good.
Then he'd speed it back up and he'd just practice it once
you
he
had to
learned.
put in hours.
Hours. But what I'm
Hours to
saying,
learn that
that's
shit.
the great thing today, because I have gone on before going, I want to try to figure out what they did in this, because I was in a Doobie Brothers tribute band back in 2017. And
Who played at my birthday?
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
And the Doobie Brothers, once they had all these acoustic guitars and all these things going, a lot of times you couldn't pick out exactly what everybody was doing. So I actually, for the first time in my life, I went, I wonder if it's on the internet. Because I really hadn't played like cover songs for so long. So I went on, I go, I'll be damned, man. You can, another Lonely Park, another
And
Sunday.
they break it
and
down.
they break it, and
they
you
don't just
go,
play it for you.
I go, wow. A la what you guys are doing. If you're in question of a guitar part or a drum part, I think it's just really cool. We definitely did not have that when we were younger.
Well, let me ask you this: what is right now where the band is? Let's talk about where the band is right now. So the four of you get together. You're essentially learning all these cover songs. You're trying to get some shows. You guys are hustling. You're playing pretty much almost anywhere they'll have you. At this point, you guys are making enough noise where you don't have to play at the laundromat, or you don't have to play at the 7-Eleven or the 5 and Dime. You guys are starting to get rooms,
We still
starting
play
to get
there
more
sometimes.
hype. Things are starting to happen. What's that? I missed it.
We still play there a few
Well, you'll
times.
still play there too. But I mean, I know that the hype is starting to happen. You guys are getting opportunities because I kind of watched in the beginning where your name came up and your name came again. And then, of course, when the name keeps coming up, because there's quite a handful of, I guess you would say, teenage bands or kid bands. And then you guys were just making a lot more noise and getting a lot more attention. So things are starting to cruise right now. So you guys are rehearsing. You're doing cover songs. You're trying to keep together, right? So I seen you had quite a few shows. Where do you see you guys at, like, let's just say, a year or two from now? Do you think this is just going to keep going the way it's going? Will you continue just to play cover songs and play in some of these bars and parties? Will you try to write some material together? Where do you see it? And don't look at your dad. Where do you see it?
Well, I'm pretty sure me and Dylan have different opinions about the band. Like, I feel like we could end up writing music and getting better. And like, this could continue. It has the potential to grow into something like bigger than myself. But that's only if
you're so big.
Like, yeah. Okay.
My bad.
And they're going to start fighting right now.
Nah,
I'm
but
kidding.
yeah, I mean, if we ended up writing music, it'd make a name for ourselves even more than right now.
Okay, well, let's dig in a little deeper. I want to dig into this for a second because this is important stuff. What people don't realize, because this is a music podcast, and yes, music's fun, music's enjoyable, music is part of our life, but they don't see the other side of the coin. Why? Because most people out there watching us are not in a band. There's a reason that bands do not continue, and there's a reason that bands don't stay together. Let's just use a marriage as an example. Marriage is very difficult. You're with somebody, you live with somebody, you pay bills together, you're with together every day. It's the same thing kind of with a band, although you guys don't live together. Very, very difficult. So let's ask the question that I knew that I was going to ask. So when you guys are together, to have 4 people or 4 kids, so I'm going to have to use the word kids because you guys are kids, to stay together is very, very, very difficult. They only see the good stuff. You only see when you're on stage, you're smiling, you're happy, you're enjoying it, people are kicking ass. But there is another side of the coin. 4 of you have to get along and have to get together. And when you have 4 people, there's sometimes where all 4 see something a little bit different. I don't want to do this. I want to do this. The 2 of you want to do this. The 3 of you want to do it. Yeah. The other one doesn't want to do it. The other one is getting pissed.
He's usually
the other one doesn't want to talk to you. Now you're coming to rehearsal, and I've got to throw it out there. You have 2 girls in the band. Okay, me, it's just, I'll say it because this is my podcast.
Oh, here we go.
I did not, I was in a band with girls. You know what I'm saying? And it was very difficult for me. And I'm sure it was difficult for them because they see things and they're just, they're different people sometimes. Very, very difficult. So without you crushing anyone, is it really difficult for the 4 of you to walk into a room and does everybody get along? Let's get the dirt out there. And you don't have to say, you don't have to talk about specific people. I'm saying, is it hard to get along? Let's be more vague. Or does everybody get along pretty good?
Maybe. Okay. At the start, maybe we had some rough things, but I think we all know each other well enough by now.
You're friends.
So we all vibe, we
Good friends.
chill. Right now, we're good. Nobody has an issue with anybody. We're all straight, but we definitely had some,
Growing
people
pains?
Yeah.
get mad at some people. But
That's all normal.
But that's normal.
Totally
That's
Yeah.
normal.
made
It's-
us stronger,
Yeah.
So that's what I like to think.
Well, when you guys have an issue, I'm going to, before we go to break, because we're going to go to break and we're going to bring Dad on for a little bit, I want to give a little bit of my experience, or maybe a little bit of what the word I'm looking for, advice. Is that a word, advice? Or a little bit
Your
of insight,
thoughts?
my thoughts on maybe you can grab something from this interview. And Keith, I'm going to let you do that also. I would have to say that just keep doing what you're doing. Whatever happens to you in the next few years, or whatever may be through your childhood or through your young adulthood, it's going to happen. Mistakes are going to be made. Mistakes are going to be made constantly. But because of those mistakes, you're going to be a better player. You're going to be a better person, a better musician. And things are, at the end of the day, hopefully, you'll reach the end of that rainbow, whatever that may be. When you have 4 people in a band, 5 people, 6 people, whatever matter, there has to be some kind of conduciveness. There has to be someone that it's give and take. And that's the part for me that sucks, because I just want to take everything and I don't want to give nothing. Okay, but I'm old enough to where I kind of established my own thing. But you got to give and take, even though you just want to say, you got it. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? Got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to settle because that's part of doing what you're doing. You know, you're not a successful touring band that's writing songs and you don't have 5 managers and a record company. And no, you're 4 kids that are still moving and grooving. So just give and take and keep doing what you're doing because right now you guys are kicking ass.
Appreciate
and
it.
be honest with you, the chances of you being together a year or 2 from now, very difficult. Not because, and it might not even have nothing to do with getting along. Might happen just he gets another offer for another band or he gets another offer for a band or all of a sudden dad wants to move to Colorado and retire. Whatever the reason is, very difficult. So just stay on course and keep doing what you're doing.
I will say one thing though is that I feel like it's a lot easier to keep the kids from fighting than it is to keep the parents from fighting.
Oh, thank you.
Whoa.
Son of a gun. See, that's why we're on the podcast. Right there, buddy.
I think we're
like
all
it.
good. So
Well, thank you.
all the kids, we're all happy with each other.
Let me add to Jimmy's thoughts.
Yes, please do.
The biggest thing, because I've definitely been exactly where you guys are at a long time ago. Biggest thing to always remember, just keep having fun. Because if you're having fun, it doesn't matter if you blow a roll or you miss a chord. People see you having fun. And that's what is going to be the attraction. Not only are you real good and you're young and you're rocking, but just keep having fun. If you went on and read about the most famous bands and why they broke up, some of it's just ridiculous. I mean, you just look at it and you go, are you kidding me? You know? Well, to me, they stopped having fun. It wasn't fun anymore. It was about business. It was
I think it's all
money.
about money. But
It's about
we
money,
don't we don't make
money,
that kind
money.
of money to argue
so
about it.
just
you know?
keep having fun.
I don't think.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? I'm picking your brain now. What if they weren't having fun? Let's say Casey said one day, you know what, man? Every time I go to rehearsal, this sucks.
Well,
I don't want anything. I mean, I love these guys. I don't want to do this anymore.
I'll tell you
What would your
exactly.
suggestion?
It's
Please.
time for Casey to find another band.
Right.
If he's not happy, you're
just
young.
using that as an example, by the way.
You
Just
know,
calling out
it
names.
just could be anybody in the band. But yeah, if somebody's not happy, because here's what happens: the minute one person, male or female, isn't happy, it shows.
It spreads like a cancer. Well,
It's going to show up at
like-
rehearsal. It's definitely going to show up at your gigs. Okay. It's like I've been in bands before where you knew one of the members was on their way out. Either they wanted to quit, they were going to go to college, they got an offer from a better band. Guess what? The last shows, it's rare if your last shows don't suck because they're on their way out. You know, so I would say just keep doing what you're doing, keep having fun. You know, and anything that gets on your nerves, if something comes up in rehearsal about another person, let it go because you don't know what they're going through that day at home or in school or with their best friend or whatever it is. And if you've worked everything out this far, you'll probably be able to work that out too.
I think it's
So,
just communication.
It is.
Communication
It's
is key.
always going to be communication.
See, it comes from the parent right there.
Yeah.
Communication. I like that.
Always.
Okay, before we go to break, any girls? Girls, let's talk about girls because we love girls. We're big fan. I'm not talking necessarily in the band. I'm saying we love girls. Yeah. So, are there any girls involved whatsoever at this point, Casey? We don't need any names. Can we just say because there's going to be a lot of kids watching this? Okay, don't look at your dad. All right, there's a lot of kids are going to be watching this because we're going to post this everywhere. No pressure. Have you got any responses to some young ladies at some of your shows?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any? Are you digging it? Is there a young lady that you've met? Any chance?
No, I met my girlfriend through the School of Rock. So
Okay, how long's that been going?
probably we've been talking for 5 months. We've been together officially for like 1.5.
Okay,
cool.
So
you
it's
guys-
pretty early.
Do you like her?
Yeah. Of course
Is she a
I do.
nice person?
Of course she is.
She's at School of Rock. Is she a musician or a singer?
She's a bassist. Yeah.
She's a bassist. Okay, you're not gonna boot out Anton.
No. No.
Okay, none of that's gonna happen.
No, no relationships in the band.
In the band.
No.
Oh, very good. Okay, so
I learned my
Dylan,
lesson.
Dylan, the hair is sick, by the way, Dylan.
I need a
And you look
haircut.
just
Let me tell
like
you.
Keith's
I'm getting one soon. Trust me.
nephew,
Grandson.
grandson. Holy shit, you're old. Okay, so any girls?
I don't know what he's talking about. The young girls at the shows, because please
A bunch of old
direct me-
people?
direct me to them. I see a lot of old girls shaking it like with their. You know.
Hey, everybody, this is the podcast, Sound Check, with Ridenour and Robinette.
Robinette.
And we're with the Unravel Band. Let's have a hand real quick.
Yay.
Unravel Band. It's Dylan and Casey. We're going to take a short break. and we're going to talk to Dad just for a few minutes before we go anywhere. Stick around. My mama told me, son, don't make the big boys don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno up to watch him die. Well, I hear that train a coming. I hit my head and cry. All right, Keith, go. 1, 2, 3. Another verse. Well, I'm a disobedient. My mama told me, son, don't ever play with guitar. Don't ever play with gun. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Well, I hear that whistle blowing. I don't know the words to the song. Now we're gonna do drum break right here. Dude, 1, 2, 3. Come on, Casey. Hey. All right, Dylan, play a little bit, Dylan. Welcome back to podcast, everybody. Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
Hey! Well, I hear that whistle blowing. I hang my head and cry. One more time, the bridge, one more time. Well, I hear that whistle blowing. I hang my head and cry. One more time. Well, I hear that whistle blowing. I hang my head and.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Welcome back to Soundcheck, everybody. Can I get a round of applause for the Unravel kids? They did a great job.
Rockin'.
And they did a good job.
They're real good.
You know, it's kind of weird because when you're, that age, or God forbid, when I would get nervous with cameras, on you and then asking questions. It's a lot sometimes. It's a little overwhelming. But I think just like music or anything else, that you got it when you keep doing it. If you've done it several times, it just comes off the top. And those kids are pretty mature for their age.
Oh, yeah.
And
They're very natural.
and to experience what they're experiencing. I just want to say, a quick shout out. We have Casey's dad, everybody. Casey's dad. Casey's dad. Thank you for being the parent of a musician. So we're going to start by saying hello and thank you so much for bringing the kids out here. You guys are located, I guess, in Broward or Fort Lauderdale area?
Yeah, Pompano.
And Pompano. So you came up from Pompano here in Palm Beach County. It's a beautiful day outside. But we do want to thank you because you have
you have a great cabin here.
What?
You have a great cabin here.
Yeah. It's a great cabin. That was Keith's idea, by the way.
Amazon.
It's great.
Amazon. Yeah, by the way, that's really not my wall. But for you to take the time out of your day and the kids out of their day, because everybody has a schedule and everybody has a life to live. I just want to say thank you very much from us guys at Soundcheck that you would get in the car and come up here and really appreciate it. This is it's not a money thing where they're not getting paid for being here. So I want to thank you so much, and hopefully you'll get some exposure from this podcast. And the kids are really on their way. So I want to get into it.
But first, the thanks is all from us. Honestly, this is.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
It really is amazing.
And I appreciate it. And anytime me and you've had a phone call, we've interacted. You were very positive and very honest with the business end. We've talked a few times about a little bit what you guys have going on. Let's talk about the good stuff first, and then we'll get into some of the heavier stuff. So tell us a little bit about your son. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't have a musician as a child. I have 4 kids. But tell us a little bit about your son and when he did start, drumming and beating up on stuff, and when he got involved. We talked to him a little bit about that earlier.
His mom and I kind of looked over it at the beginning, because you're right, we don't have a musician as a son. I have athletes. My older son, football. I grew up as an athlete. There was no musical.
Nowhere in the family tree.
Nowhere in here. And so it was almost like we talked earlier about giving him chopsticks everywhere we went, because that really was just kind of a pacifier. It was his pacifier. It was literally, he wanted to go and beat on things, whether it was the ottoman or the couch or the bed. He'd walk around the house as his diaper. He was hitting things or playing on guitar. Very musical. Again, we overlooked it. This is going to be a soccer player.
Right.
This kid's going to play baseball. In fact, I'm going to sponsor the team. And he's going to play shortstop because I'm the coach. And it was a big eye opener when, 6th grade, you realize he's getting lit up.
Right.
And the life goes out of your kid. What do you do?
I can't even imagine.
What do you do?
See my kid get hit.
And I'm like, well, you bow up, you go, he's the nicest kid in the world. Not a mean bone.
He wasn't built for that.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing him into the wolves. So anyway, School Rock was opening, and that was the time.
Right.
So you got him in School of Rock. So you and the wife decide, okay, let's give this a shot. The kid's obviously banging on stuff. He wants to play drums. So you got him in School of Rock, and it took off from there on out. He just had an attachment to it. He took to it very well. And it started to go.
Yeah, just like sports, the kids' parents start to get friendly, and now it's events, right? You're doing different things, and that's when at School of Rock, you realize that you're one of 20 kids in a class or in a program. There's 15 drummers, there's 13 guitarists, and you're going around. It's a program, and everybody's doing their part, but everybody's got their part, right? So you'd go see a show, and they'd have 15 songs, and Casey was on 2.
Right.
And you were there for the whole show. So that's when the parents just said, we want to hear our kids a little more.
Right. It's like we were talking about baseball game.
Yeah, I want my kid to play. I don't want my kid sitting on the bench.
Second and third inning. That's it. What's up?
Why isn't my kid pitching?
Well, they got to rotate.
Do they not hear? But anyway, it was.
So they've been together for what, about a year? I'm saying, let's pass on this. Let's go a little further. So the kids, 4 of them together, met at School of Rock. Mm-hmm. Anton, Cypher, all 4 of them.
So Cypher's at Coral Springs. There's several locations for the School of Rock. Casey and Dylan became besties at Pompano when they first opened. Cypher started in Coral Springs, and Anto is West Broward. So she's down in Davie. This was amazing how this all went together. And I'd seen Cypher and approached her parents and said, our boys have got something, and we're really looking for what you have. And what Cypher brings to the table, we'd really like for her to sing.
So let the people that are watching know who Cypher is and what she does.
Cypher is our lead. She is an angel.
The lead singer.
Yeah, she's our lead singer.
When you say she's an angel, you're not talking about her voice, you're talking about her as a person, or
both? Both. Her voice is amazing. You heard who can take on Mariah Carey, and literally in my opinion, she played that Christmas song better than anybody.
Right, so she's killer. And I've seen her
she's
sing.
Amazing.
I've seen her sing a bunch of rock stuff.
We just did her 16th birthday party.
Wow.
The kids played. How about that? The kids played for her 16th. Yeah.
And Anto. I called her Anton earlier, and I do appreciate that. I mean, I do apologize for that. Anto.
Yeah.
And she is killer. She's a monster. She sat in with us.
Really?
We had a packed house, and I forget what it was. I think they opened up for us or something.
Yeah.
I don't know when this was.
Cagney's.
And then Cagney's.
Kimba's birthday.
Kimba's birthday.
Oh, really?
Kimba's afternoon. Kimba.
Yeah. So we did an AC/DC song, and I just handed her the mic. I didn't even know she knew the song. I just figured because I saw her play, and she got up there, and the place went crazy. She's a bass player. Yeah. So that was
she
really
just turned
good.
13.
Just turned 13. And she's a
Last
sweetheart
Monday.
as well.
Wow.
She's a sweetheart as well.
Yeah.
Good kid.
Unbelievable.
And does Anto and Cypher know each other before all this happened?
No.
Where they go to school together?
Nope.
So they just kind of went cold into this room and said, okay, what do we do now? Did they come up with songs? A handful of songs, they all?
We actually, so Richard, Dylan's dad, and we had spent a couple Saturdays listening to people play in Richard's living room to see about where the pieces kind of fit. And so Cypher, obviously we'd seen previously at a school rock show, and so that was like a perfect match as long as she was comfortable, right? I mean, it really has to be, how do the kids get along?
Right.
Is there a weird thing? And then Anto, she put on her bass and started warming up, and I looked at Richard, I went, that's it, that's all I needed to hear.
So
And
when
Isn't it funny like that?
Oh,
man?
when you hear her and you see it, you get it. It's just like, wow.
So the two of the girls are both at different school of rocks,
Mhm.
and between the parents, you got them all into a room eventually and played. So the first batch of songs they did, I'm assuming, were songs they all knew from the school of rock program.
So that's the greatest part is that
Right.
the kids have got like probably, north of 150 songs in a portfolio that they can pick out at any point in time. But they probably, when they all got together, they probably had, 25, 30 songs that, graciously, like Southern Blood and so many other bands that have kind of, really opened their arms to the kids and really embraced. I mean, I can't imagine that's normal for bands to just say, oh my gosh, we want you to play with us. Oh my gosh, please come play with us. So
Right.
that
But you had
gave,
a lot of support as well, because I'm just throwing it out there. There was support coming from other entities. It wasn't just out of the blue, right? There was noise happening. You guys played a few gigs. Holy shit, they're a really good band. Hey, let's bring them in. Be honest with you. People want to see it because it's different also. Then they see it and they go, oh, they could really play. So that's kind of even cooler. Because, you can bring a kid band in. If it takes a shit, well, it doesn't go over so well. But when you bring a really good band in there, but please continue. So go ahead.
You played Rock and Roll Ribs last Christmas party?
So his anniversary, right?
Oh, the
anniversary
anniversary.
parties we've played.
Yeah.
The School of Rock we've played for the last 6 years, right?
My
With the house band.
My wife runs Rock and Roll Ribs.
Right.
So-
We talk all the time.
Okay.
She's definitely my.
That's right.
Shout
That's
out to you.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always. I
Paula,
always say to
Paula,
say
yeah.
hi.
Okay,
I always
yeah.
say to say hi. So yeah, and that Nico, holy cow, what an event, and he's really a cool
You
dude.
really get to play to a lot of people, because it gets packed there for the parties.
Yeah, under that tent, you fit a couple, 200-300 people.
Yeah, easy.
Under the tent alone, and then
And
you
it's
have people scattered around.
packed.
It didn't
Just
start
everywhere.
out like that. I remember when the first started. It was good, but yeah.
I remember before I went back to Nashville, I think after COVID, whatever the next one was after COVID, I think they had to skip a year or two, something like that. But I remember last one I was at, it was just so crowded that after a while I was like, I'm going.
For the last couple of years, they've done School of Rock and has been really cool with us because my wife does most of the scheduling for most of the booking and the agencies. Obviously, how crazy that is. So School of Rock quite often will have to send. We just got another gig. We just want to make sure so that you don't schedule something and we don't collapse on top of each other.
Oh,
So
right.
they're doing cool things like that. And it's like the last 2 years we've had like 2 gigs back to back right the same day as Rock and Roll Ribs. So luckily, we haven't been able to say enjoy it, but what a cool.
Well, I'll tell you,
It's a great place for them to play.
Yeah.
What a stage.
Yeah.
What a stage.
Let me ask you something. Let's talk about the other side of the coin because there's just tons of people that are going to be watching this, and people are really interested for the kids that are coming up or musicians that are coming up, and even parents that are involved right now. So when you guys get this thing going, let's talk about the other side. Now, when you guys go to a gig, there's 4 kids, there's 4 parents. If there's 2 parents, well, there's 8 parents. Whatever it may be, that's neither here nor there. So when you have 4 kids like that, it's going to be very difficult. When we were kids, we would just go into a room. If we don't like each other, we'd say F you, we get into a fist fight, or screw you, we don't need you, we'll find somebody else. And back then it was a different story, You either got along or you didn't. If you didn't, it was pretty, it was out there from day one. So you get the kids and they all kind of get together. But is it Has there been I don't know how do I word this without getting negative. Let's do this. So when the kids have to make a decision on a business decision, or let's say where they're going to play or how they're going to play, or are they going to play for money? Are they going to play for free? How do these decisions get made? Do the parents kind of have to discuss it together, or do you let how much control do the kids have on what they're going to do and
we're
how they're gonna do it?
blessed. We're blessed with their thoughts because they really are thinking like out of the box. Like tomorrow night we're playing the autism. We're not getting paid.
Right.
You know, we get paid when we played, and we're setting up and doing the whole thing for the autism event. We've done that for 4 years. The kid Casey and Dylan with the other projects. So, but if it comes down to like the business end of it, we're doing a lot of the scheduling, but the parents are enforcing them discussing it. Right. And if anybody has a problem with it, we don't do it. If one person's going to be out of town, it's not an Unravel gig,
Right.
unless we have it covered. There's, a couple of things that are coming up that one of the Anto is going to be traveling. So we have somebody that's going to be sitting in, but we obviously clear that with the venue and all that
so
stuff
then
too.
just discuss. It's a cover band. Let's be realistic. You guys are not a touring, original band.
Correct.
Have to worry about it. If you're going to do a gig and that you have a bass player that's going to sit in, hey, so what? Wish you the best of luck.
That's it.
There will be a time, hopefully, hopefully not, but there will be a time where there's that one kid in the band where they get approached from another source and says, listen, man, your band's good. Ain't that fucking good. I want to bring you into my band. We got this planned. We're going to do this, and you're going to get paid, and you're going to get paid this, and we want you to join our band. That will come. It just does. We're in the covered band business. Now, like I said, if it was an original project, whole different story. But around here, the big thing is doing covers and playing clubs and bars and restaurants and festivals. It's going to happen. Has that happened? Let's be perfectly honest. Has any of the kids been approached by any other kid band, or are the four of them pretty intact right now, and you don't see that getting in the way right now with what their goals are?
I don't see that getting in the way. The kids have played with other groups and gone and done other projects with other people. We're all encouraging of that. I mean, as many stages, as many opportunities as you can get, do it. I mean, we're going to be in the audience. We're going to go applaud. We're going to go watch you guys.
Right.
See, that's pretty cool.
You got to be proactive with it.
Because I would be pissed.
Yeah.
If I was in a band and my guitar, when I was a kid, my guitar player was a great guitar player and he's going to play with another band. I was like, man, I feel like I'm being cheated on, And actually, I still feel that way sometimes, depending on my guy, I mean, you know what I'm saying. We get a goof at it because we're all older now. But, even like if I go to a gig and, I see like Rodrigo up there pounding it out with some band, I'm like, hey, man, that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Don't be playing in that. Don't be playing. You're having too much fun. Don't be smiling. I'm just kidding. But, so that's cool, man, that the parent says, you know what opportunity is there. If they're going to play with somebody else, well, you got to play.
It's just more experience for them. They could sit in. I mean, I've seen this happen before. They'll sit in with one band, maybe a couple gigs. They know the other guitar player, drummer, bass player's coming back, but it's what they could take away from that other band to bring back to their band.
Boy, isn't that something?
And that's the main takeaway I always see. If you're going to go sit in with another band, what if they do the same songs, but they do something a little different that opens your eyes up that, wow, we could do this with these other songs. Or some way they prepare before they go on stage together, or something they do at the end of the, those are that's the takeaways.
Lucky for us, it's been guys like Jimi that are calling the kids to go play with them. If you wanted to teach your son how to throw football, how about having him throw around with Dan Marino?
You just sit on the Dan Marino, the circle.
What I'm saying, well, what
I'll talk to him.
20-foot blue.
No, what I'm saying is that if you're putting your kids with people that have experience, I mean, there's stuff on the walls. This is the access that they have, and the local community just opening their arms and saying, I mean, I'm sure that if Casey wanted to call and say, hey, Jimi, maybe not right off the bat, you're hard to get a hold of.
No, I know you do.
But
wonderful. I had to throw that one in there.
No, I'm just teasing.
I'm just fucking with you.
That was
Anyway,
true.
but right, to encourage that and to have that kind of community has been. I mean,
Well, I'd like to. Now that you just said, I'd like to, maybe we should talk about that, having the kids come sit in with me or one of my projects just to come sit in. That might be kind of fun.
Do a
Because
couple
people,
songs,
I'm in
do a
the
few
entertainment business. That's what I am. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm not
fun.
trying to sell records. At my age, I'm in the entertainment business, and I play some good crowds. And I would love to have your kid or any of the kids come jam with us. So maybe that's something we should talk about. I didn't have to throw that in the middle of this interview, but I think that'd be something that we should do. And people love that. They're like I could have a crowd of 1,000 people and they're kind of watching it and they're all having fun, but all of a sudden you throw a little mix, especially the kids, they're going to be like, oh, what just happened? And it's more exposure. So let's definitely dabble into that.
And the writing part of it, at some point in time, I don't know, there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I know.
talking to somebody.
Me.
Was it you?
Yeah. That's okay. I know, it was memorable. No,
it's
just
not that.
kidding.
When they
know,
were
but-
talking about that, I was just like, wait a second. I remember being at Marquee, and I thought it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't.
Well, we did. Well, like they were mentioning, we have gigs like this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wow.
So we're not going to practice at Marquee unless it was going to be for a Sunday, and that's few and far between. And to get them during the week, they're at school all week long.
Right.
So it's kind of funny you were asking about this interview, and I was like, well, school's still this is exam week, so it's kind of you're right.
My kids, I got 2 graduating. I got another one graduating in a couple of weeks. Let me ask you this. So at this point right now, you guys are hanging in there. When's your next? Let's say not next show. What shows you got coming up? I know you got Packies.
Tomorrow is at the Cove for the Trash Can Slam, which is the autism service for
The
autism.
Cove? That's my account.
That's the Cove.
How do I not know that?
Well, we're playing off on to the I don't know, the tent off to the side on the side of the thing for that.
It's a benefit of sorts.
Yeah, it's a benefit. It's a.
What do you got coming up? Like
thing.
you got anything coming up like in a couple of weeks? Not a small club. You got another benefit? Is there any shows off the top of your head that you know a date for? Give me something 2 weeks down the road. So when this gets broadcast,
2 weeks in advance. Well, Con Murphy's is Friday night, and then Saturday night is going to be Con Murphy's. We play on Friday night, which is the RC show is coming up, so that's Friday night.
Okay.
And then Saturday night we play Love and Oven.
Okay.
And then we have Packies. We're trying. Packies is every other month because we're. We're trying to space things out.
With Jeff and
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you another thing before we go. Dylan and Casey, come on in. What was the last question I had for you? Was
upcoming shows.
Now, when the kids get paid, okay, it doesn't matter what the dollar amount. If it's $5 or $500, what are they doing? Do they get it individually? They're putting it all in a kitty.
No, the kids they're paid individually. And they're saving up for probably more video games. I mean, literally, they don't. As far as music's concerned, and I'm, just for me, and I know Richard's the same way. We're not making the kids buy the music instruments and stuff. Again, this is like travel baseball for us.
Do they own their own PA? Do they have to bring their PA a lot?
We own it.
That's always the thing.
They do bring their own PA?
Yeah, we own. We as Dylan's dad. We all have our own pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
It was too difficult because they're thinking like everybody else. This may not last, and who knows whether this is going to be great this week and next
who
week.
gets the speaker
We're
when we
dealing
break
with
up? Who gets
like
the
you had
mixer?
mentioned up there. We've got 2 girls in the band. Who knows what this is going to do? And it goes like that. So all of a sudden, we have he's like, I'm just going to buy all the PA stuff because it's going to be too difficult to try to pay somebody out and who's going to buy it and who's going to have this. So I'm just going to own it, which is nice to have. And
any subs or dud subs? You have the 2 tops.
Subs, 2 tops. We have the little
Casey,
ones. We have
come sit next to Dad. And Dylan, come on over here. Move down that way a little bit.
Yeah.
And Dylan's going to sit in the middle here. All right. So here, you grab this. What's your name again, Keith? Grab the guitar. All right. So what is? I just want to thank the boys for coming out. I got a fat ass. I apologize. I want to thank the guys for coming out. Unravel Band. I mean, this has been probably one of the best experiences we've had since we started this podcast. And while they're tuning up, I want to give a shout out to our producer and our engineer. Without him, none of these podcasts would have ever been possible to make all this work on the back end. So thank you, Jason Sedoui, for being our editor, our graphics designer. Not that there's a whole lot of design going on here. You know, he doesn't really do a whole lot. I want to thank him for sitting on a chair and watching porn on his phone, and he did a great job doing that for the last 2 hours. Thank you so much. And the kids, man, how about them kids?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the music. I like it. Grab that thing over there and kind of put it in the middle there between your legs and just bang on it. This is podcast. Want to thank Casey Sr., Casey Jr., and Dylan. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's important. Why is it important? Well, I have no idea why it's important, but just hit the button anyway. Makes you feel good. Podcast with Ridenour and Robinette. Keith Ridenour.
Yeah.
Unravel band. When is this going to be broadcast, Jason? Any idea? Take a look at that phone and tell us. Give us a date you could promise this will come out. May 15th. May 15th, Unravel Band. Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
1, 2. Thank you so much, everybody. Give a round of applause, Unravel guys.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got, brother?
We got you some Unravel shirts.
Yeah. All right.
Some merch.
Nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
dude, really?
Oh, this goes good with my guitar, man.
Guys, we got a gray one.
Yes.
I'll take the gray one.
Yes.
This is the dope.
Let's see.
I just want you to notice, everybody. The
Yeah.
kids are smart. They
Look
got
at
the
that.
fat shirt.
Look at that.
You got
It's
the
like
big
it was
shirt for the
made
fat
for it.
guys.
Let's check that out right
Yeah.
there. It's made
That
for
looks
that
great.
guitar.
I love it. Unravel. Oh, can we get
Yeah.
those at your gigs?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay, do they have the white and the great ones?
They have
What's it
black
going to
ones.
cost me, Dad? Give me a ballpark.
We're $15.
$15. Are you sure?
$15.
Stay with that number. $15. You can get one of these awesome shirts. And I'm very, very happy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Once again, thank you, Unravel Band.
Yeah,
Dylan, good
absolutely,
job.
absolutely.
Casey, good job. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me zoom in. Hang on. Get this on. Woo!